if Somnath could tell us about film as a weapon, as a thrust for equality, particularly caste equality, the caste movement.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. Basically, our caste is there. Caste is not invisible in Indian cinema. But caste Indian cinema. Basically, Indian cinema is stories of dominant caste who get the benefit of historical caste system, and mostly Bollywood or any regional industries, most privileged castes are dominated our cinema industry, and there is a differences between the caste invisibility of caste and Dalit stories. Actually, there is very few. Well, Dalit stories are very mini minority in our society and our film industry, basically. And there is very interesting report on Dalit representation on cinema, mostly on Bollywood. So that report is very interesting because every year Hollywood they are publishing a diversity report, and they are mostly that report is about the black representation on US cinema. But if we plan that type of diversity report, uh, what is the actual condition of our cinema? It's come on public. So basically, I mentioned the report on the Hindu. They are publishing a report. Basically, it's a news report, and that report is saying there is a very few there is a very almost five films in 2013 to 2015, and almost that 3 years 400 films produce a Bollywood, so-called progressive industry, and mostly the filmmakers from privileged caste, and mostly that there is no differences of parallel and mainstream cinema, because the parallel filmmakers they are more casteist, because they are making the film like Achut Kanya and Sujata, and they are showing Dalit as a victim, and they are showing their own caste people, and mostly the Bollywood, they are romanticizing Gandhi's idea of Harijan, or the Gandhi's ideas, but they are completely ignore the leader, like the progressive, the anti-caste leaders like Phule or Periyar uh, or Mahatma Phule, and they are showing, they are completely ignoring. And if, like a film like Article 15, made by Anubhav Sinha, and he mostly, actually, Bollywood is like a Article 15, because they are romanticizing their own privileged caste people. So I think Bollywood and most the Indian cinema, because Dalit Bahujan communities are, the population of Dalit Bahujan communities in Indian societies almost 85%, and their representation is very low. That's why I think Indian cinema, there is a caste stories, but that caste, because every cinema is a caste stories. We don't say this is not caste is invisible. I think we need to say Dalit stories are invisible, and we need two filmmakers like Nagraj Manjure and Paranjit, because they are making the global films on caste issues. So I think we mostly the cinema industry need a diversity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, I wonder if I could add a little question. I'm tempted to ask about a question. Uh, now the film is something that reaches such a large number of people.
Yeah.
So, do you have any ideas for how movements can use films beyond the commercial space?
Mm. Actually, if we compare why Tamil industry made a film like a Kala, because there is a movement, because cinema industry is a very costly industry, and mostly this, the Bania caste, they are mostly, who are the film producer in Indian film industry, mostly is Bania. So I think mostly the movement, progressive movement, we need to produce our documentaries or short films, and mostly the crowdfunding films, and support. I think we need to support most marginal communities filmmakers, because this marginal community stories are very low in industry.
I think that's a very useful reminder. And, in a way, we're moving from the abstract where we're sitting alone and writing or even performing for a small group to this larger sort of audience. And how do we actually use our work for to support movements? I also want to add, of course, that we live in a multilingual nation, and though we are talking in English, and though writers are bound by the languages they write in, that film and art can use all kinds of language. I think it's important to mention that.